What's up, everybody? It is your boy, the one and only captain of the Fantastic Voyage, the Pope, from Pope's Point of View with Elijah Burke. And of course, you can listen to your boy on Apple, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever it is that you receive your podcast today. Head on over, check your boy out, as well as the fact that our 10th annual Love Drive event is on its way in Jacksonville, Florida, for the Love Alive charity, which you can go over and check out at love-live.org. And guys, be sure to donate $1 to help your boy continue to be the change that you wish to see in this world. And more importantly than anything else, at this particular time, I gotta let you know that you are listening to Battleground Podcast.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Battleground Podcast. Pretty stoked about what is happening in mere just a few days. We are going to be taking over Oak Grove, Kentucky. And I mean, not me personally. I mean, I'm going to be up there, but Tried and True and NWA is going to be taking over Oak Grove, Kentucky. NWA Tried and True by any means necessary, live at Valor Hall in Oak Grove, Kentucky. It's going down this Sunday, by the way. Tickets available at nwatix.com. And well, there's some interesting stuff that's going on at that show. And, well, we recently just had Trevor Murdoch on, and we've got a guy that Trevor has to kind of watch his back numerous times because he's made it very clear that he is coming after that 10 pounds of gold. So let's bring in our guest. Pope joins us on the show. Pope, my man, thank you so much for being here with us today.
What up, Battle? Thank you for having me on, man. And Pope, just want to back up real quickly, man. I want to flip the script, if you will. I want to do a little bit of correcting because you said that Trevor has to watch his back. And I've made it apparently clear he don't have to do that because he knows Pope's coming. He knows I'm coming. And I'm going to let him know, just like I'm going to let the world know. So there's no need for him to watch his back. He needs to watch his front because Pope's coming head on when that time comes.
And, you know, we were watching NWA Power, and we saw it. You came out and told him, and we had Trevor on, and this was kind of right after you said, hey, look, I'm coming for it. I'm not going to cash it in and just while you're down and all this other stuff. But he's still got to keep that mind in the back of his mind that you're there. So he's got to kind of watch his back because even though you said, hey, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do it, he's got to be prepared no matter what.
And that's the key word right there, Battle. Not necessarily watching his back. You watch your back for Tyrus. You watch your back for the Jax Danes and people of that nature. A stand-up guy like Pope, someone who has the values, has the morals, man. I'm just coming straight to him. And the key word, like you said, is he needs to be prepared.
Exactly. And, you know, a lot of these people, when they have that opportunity to go after the title, they're not going to come up and be like, you know what, I'm going to punch you in the mouth right now. It's always that sneak attack coming in when you're down. And Trevor said that you and him go way back. And the thing that he appreciates about you is that you told him, hey, I'm coming after it. That's going to be mine. I'm coming, and you're going to know when I'm coming.
And you know what? Because we go way back, there's that part of us, that connection, brothers in the bond. I talked about it, man, how happy that Pope was when Trevor won that title. Pope was there to embrace him, to tell him that I love him. Same with his son, man. His son was crying on my shoulder. So I just want Trevor to enjoy the moment right now. Don't worry about Pope. Just enjoy your moment.
Right, for sure. And speaking of a moment, let's kind of just jump right into it. After 290 days as the NWA television champion, you were defeated by Tyrus. And you've had some time to reflect now. And it seems like everywhere Tyrus goes, he has that belt with him. Like I saw him, a friend of mine was down on Broadway at a boot store, and she was like, do you know who this is? And she sent me a photo of the security camera. And there's Tyrus with the belt sitting on the counter buying boots. I mean, where are you mentally after a massive loss like that, and then seeing Tyrus having it all over everywhere?
I won't necessarily, you know, it was indeed a hit. It was a hit to Pope, not necessarily Pope's ego. Obviously, I wanted to become the first to achieve the lucky 7, to defend 7 times, win 7 times. And the only reason that was important to Pope is because I wanted to secure a shot at the 10 pounds of gold. So when I had that title stolen from Pope, let's be clear about that. Stolen, underhanded, with Austin Idol, and the list goes on. For a moment, it had me, because I didn't know that I was going to, my team was going to advance in the Champion Series. I didn't know that we would come out on top. I felt like we would, and now all of us have earned a title shot opportunity, thanks in part to one, Kobe Carino, whom I'm going to be facing here upcoming in Oak Grove, Kentucky. Tried and true NWAs by any means necessary. And the young dude is, he's been feeling some sort of way. I know Pope's getting ahead of himself, but he's been feeling some sort of way because I haven't pulled out a platter and said thank you for securing that victory. But we'll talk about that soon enough.
For sure. And of course, again, like Pope said, tried and true NWAs by any means necessary. Just a couple days away, live at Valor Hall in Oak Grove, Kentucky. It's this Sunday. You can still grab tickets available right now at nwatix.com. And you kind of talk about Colby Carino. We've seen him wrestle before, and sometimes, and I kind of get that feeling, maybe you talk about how you haven't handed him that silver platter, and maybe he's coming in thinking, well, Pope should know me because of my dad.
I know, as a matter of fact, I know Kobe Carino because of his dad.
Exactly.
So that's facts. That's even he knows that. Pope has given Kobe Carino at certain times through his young career. I've given him some advice or whatnot. And it always behooves me that when individuals decide that they want to come after Pope, regardless of what side of the ring they're standing on, whether they want to be up front, whether they want to be underhanded, whether they want to be dastardly, you got to remember, man, Pope ain't no Abdullah the Butcher, but don't push me.
Right, for sure.
So I'm just saying.
That's kind of funny, and it seems like everybody is realizing, hey, if I want to get to the top or start climbing, I gotta latch myself to Pope.
Hey, I mean, a storied career, if I may say so myself without sounding full of myself, but I've been there. I've done so much that a lot of these guys are seeking to achieve, but again, don't forget, Pope has had his trips to the dark side. Mm-hmm. And I'm no stranger to that stuff. So if you want to get dirty, Pope knows how to get dirty. You want to keep it clean, then Pope will take that, and then we'll deal with that as well.
Right, for sure. And something else that we are on this show, we are big belt guys. Like, we love collecting belts. And the question I have for you is, whose idea was it for a white strap, and why was that a perfect choice for that NWA television title?
Well, you're looking at him. You're looking at him, and thanks to President Billy Corgan of the National Wrestling Alliance, it was a monumental moment for me as a little boy that, grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, my lucky city, my hometown, watching the NWA, never thinking for a moment that I'll wrestle under the NWA banner. That's what got me in. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, the Horsemen, Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, and the list goes on. So to have the opportunity to achieve that when I only came back to the NWA or to the NWA to be a mouthpiece, looking for my own horsemen, looking for my own superpowers. And that was it. And all of a sudden, much like Impact and everywhere else I've been, they found a way to get Pope back in the ring. Yeah. So when I was able to achieve that, it was pretty big, and I wanted to make it special. I wanted to make it my own, and Billy Corgan was down for it, and he did that and made that happen for you boys. So again, shout out to him. And I could never be the first black television champion, I should say, but I certainly could be the first person, period, to hold a white strap
Yeah.
national television champion from the NWA, and I don't think it'll ever be done again. And
And
if
let me tell
so,
you,
it'll be paying homage to yours truly.
that thing is beautiful. Do you have that sitting in your house? Or did you have to give it back to him?
We're gonna work on an acquisition. So
Yeah, we're gonna make sure you get that back. Because here's the thing: is on this show we have a very good track record. That anybody that's on this show that hasn't won, as they're on this show, doesn't have a possession of a title, they go on to win the title. Now, here's the thing. Also, sometimes it's also the bad side that if you come on this show and you already have a title, chances are you'll go on to lose that title. So we just recently had Trevor Murdoch on the show. So you're in pretty good hands that eventually either you're going to get that 10 pounds of gold or that NWA television title is going to come back to your waist. But I feel as if it's going to be that 10 pounds of gold. Hopefully Trevor doesn't see this and comes at me for this Sunday. So we'll hope not.
I'll be sure. I'll be sure to screen grab this and send it to him.
Yes, for sure. Don't let him know that because I don't want to get beat up on Sunday when we're there hanging out. So what is your all-time favorite, or who is your all-time favorite NWA television champion besides yourself?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say besides Dusty Rhodes because that's very apparent, right? So,
Right.
I mean, Arn Anderson. If it's not besides Dusty Rhodes, and if you guys haven't went over to Pope's Instagram, I know I'm ahead of myself, at the Black Pope, DA Black Pope. On Instagram, you can see the reel as I paid tribute to Dusty recently here for his birthday. So it speaks for itself. But outside of Dusty, definitely Arn Anderson.
Now that would, if you could have, Dusty or Arn in their prime, which match would you take?
Arn. Based off of where I am and based off of my position. I mean, again, it just depends. If I'm new breed Pope, then obviously I want Dusty. If I'm dastardly, D'Angelo De Niro, I want Dusty then. But outside of that, especially where I'm at, it will be Arn.
Oh, I if I could figure out some kind of time machine to get Arn back in his prime, I will book that match right now and make sure it's at NWA 74 or 70, wherever I have to have it. I will make sure it's have.
Yeah.
So we kind of know what the goal is for Pope next, but I want to hear from Pope himself. What is the next goal for you in the NWA?
It's real simple. As always, one is to make money. Billy Corgan, let's talk. Is make money. But no, the next goal is real simple, and that's to become the second black man in the history of the NWA in 73 years to become world champion. That would, again, little boy, it makes me emotional just to think about it.
For sure.
Which is crazy. A little boy from Jacksonville, Afro-headed black kid that had no black heroes in the National Wrestling Alliance. The closest thing we had to a black champion was the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
And when he reached out and said, your hand touching my hand, I was at the TV reaching out to him.
Yeah.
And he made me believe. Yes, I never overlooked my Rocky Kings. We had them. Yes, I never overlooked Pistol Pez Watley, Big Cat Early Lad, and all of them that came through from time to time. Abdul the Butcher. But we just never had that, and I don't ever feel like when it comes to NWA that black representative, that representation has ever been there, even dating back to when they were doing it. And shout out to my man R-Truth, who succeeded during the TNA version affiliation with the NWA. There was no kids looking at that, and there were the internet and wrestling today was not what it was then.
No,
because no one was able to see, no one recognized it. It just kind of happened on a weekly pay-per-view, and then the week later it was done. No celebrations, no real acknowledgments other maybe than a magazine. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to bring that to National Wrestling Alliance and to the scene of professional wrestling.
And you go back to talking about R-Truth, and I was at those weekly pay-per-views every Wednesday night at the fairgrounds. Like I've got like an old photo, and if I could find it, I think I've already taken it down. But it's like I was there every Wednesday night at the fairgrounds. I was loud, I was yelling, and I was there the night Truth won the championship.
Really?
And that place erupted. And at the time, I was still being somewhat of a new wrestling fan. I didn't realize the significance of what happened because I was so used to watching, WWF at the time. Like it was like, oh, he just changed the champion. At the time, I didn't realize that he was the first African-American NWA champion.
Yeah.
And we had him on not too long ago. And again, this is going to be in another good graces of being on this show. He was on and talked about that. You're on, so we're going to go ahead and put it out there in the universe that you're going to get that NWA title. But he talked about what it meant being the first African-American to have that championship. And when he found out that night, he didn't, and he even said it himself. He's like, I didn't realize the importance of winning that title that night. Like Gary Jarrett came up and said, here's the deal. You're winning this title. You're the first guy to hold this title. And he's like, I didn't realize the importance until like weeks later.
The crazy part is, I don't think anyone did. Even me. I knew as a avid follower of the years at NWA, but NWA had taken a back seat so far in the back that to a lot of people, it was just not anything of importance. It was just like some other, just like you said, a belt changing hands, like R-Truth said. But NWA now, it has grown. It's come back to the forefront. It's getting the attention that it deserves, and we're gradually growing and ascending back to a place of prominence in professional wrestling, and to spearhead, be one of the guys that spearhead that movement and lead NWA back to that place of prominence, to the promised land, if you will.
Yeah,
That's what your boy wants to do. That's what I will do.
And that's the plan that we hope for you on this show is, even though we played nice with Trevor on last week, we know Pope's going to be getting that title very, very soon.
Well, speaking of playing nice, man, y'all playing nice, but then, Trevor's my boy. Now, we ain't talked since I last spoke on the show when we talked, but he's playing nice with my old adversary, and that's shouting out this cousin talk. This cousin. And bro, I don't know anything, but I'm just saying, from me watching NWA Power this past week, I'm going, wait a minute. Cousin, why are we giving cousins shout outs to each other between Trevor and Tyrus? I'm like,
right. You're like,
we know Tyrus is George Murdoch. We know Trevor Murdoch, but I'm going, wait a minute, what's going on here? So I'm really
He's trying to play with your mind.
Yeah,
he's trying to get out there against you.
Yeah.
And, like you said, NWA is being back to the forefront. You're seeing a lot of people from the NWA showing up on other promotions. And, there's all this talk about this forbidden doors. I do the finger quotes because that's the new thing. And that's being now open, including the NWA working together with other promotions. Do you have any dream matches for fans of other promotions? Dusty Rhodes?
As soon as I win the 10 pounds of gold, if I am to welcome anyone to come through my door, or anyone that I want to defend the NWA 10 pounds of gold against, it's the natural, Dustin Rhodes.
And what's crazy is he's never had that title opportunity.
It would be so fitting. It would be so, he knows what he means to me. He knows what his dad has meant and mean to me. And I think it would only be fitting that Dustin and Pope go at it for the 10 pounds of gold.
So we're going to put this out in the universe right now. We've already established that you're going to win the 10 pounds of gold. Sorry, Trevor, if you watch this. But it's going to be Pope's going to win it. And then Pope's going to show up on whatever, AEW Dynamite or Rampage, and be like, Dustin, you never had this opportunity. Let's go.
Let's go. And by universe, we don't mean the WWE universe. We put this into the atmosphere.
Yes.
And certainly, again, me and Dustin, we go back. we go way back to my arrival on the professional wrestling scene, and we've only had nothing but respect for each other, nothing but love. And so, Dustin, Tony Khan, I'm telling you now, go ahead, make it happen when that time comes. Pope's walking through that forbidden door, and I want Dustin Rhodes, whether that's under the AEW banner or headlining for the NWA. We gonna get funky like a monkey.
NWA 74, calling it right now. Pope, Dustin, NWA title. Sorry, Trevor. You're only going to have it not for less than a year.
I like the sound of that.
That's how it's going to be. And, again, this going down this Sunday. Make sure you still get your tickets. Tried and True and NWA have teamed up by any means necessary. It's live at Valor Hall in Oak Grove, Kentucky. This Sunday, October 24th. Tickets available, NWATix.com. And also, they're going to be filming some of this stuff for Fight as well. So you definitely want to be in the building for that. Now, a lot of things have happened. You said that NWA is starting to get back into the forefront of stuff. I know with COVID, it kind of shut things down a little bit. But what does the NWA need to do to capitalize on all the positive momentum it has gained since coming back from COVID?
I think NWA needs to continue to do what it's doing. And that's number one, listening to the fans, being fan friendly, being fan first. It's something that Billy Corgan is very good at doing. He's continually listening to his audience. He's continually interjecting himself and into their whole world. And we also need to continue to have the top talent, bring in the top unsigned talents to make NWA stand out. But more importantly than anything else, when you talk about standing out, NWA has to stay true to itself.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I was sitting right here, okay? Pope was sitting right here when I got the call from NWA, watching them on YouTube every week. It was the only wrestling show, and I don't say this as a part of them because I wasn't with them. It was the only wrestling show that I could watch every week and not have to fast forward through.
No, for sure.
I never even fast forward through the commercials because they were so funny and so entertaining. So what the NWA has to do, foremost and above anything else, is stay true to itself. Don't try to change. Don't try to become what we're not. Just stay slow, stay steady, and be true to your product. And I believe we'll continue to grow because we are a different product. So we stand out, period.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to anyone, obviously, but this is old school wrestling with a new school feel.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky to see a dive on this show until the old what's their name, La whatever from the new tag team champions.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so you're rarely going to see all the crazy stuff. We save that for the pay-per-views, but and that's the way it's supposed to be. No one should be diving off the top of a ladder on the for free on a regular TV show. It should mean something. So most of the times when big things are happening for the NWA, big money angle, big moves and whatnot, the action is always good, but it's storytelling. NWA is storytelling. It's story first, and wrestling just comes and then brush it all in and paint the picture that we're trying to tell. Stick to that.
That is the perfect example because that's what me and my co-host Eli, like we grew up watching the NWA stuff, and to see them bring it back, and they did the studio wrestling and the podium and all that stuff, like it was one of those things that when it was on YouTube, you watched it, and I didn't fast forward to it. And when I first saw the first commercial, I was like, what the hell is this? And then I realized it's still a part of the show. It's not your normal 1-800-GEICO or whatever,
Right.
It's like Tony Fox, what was it, Tire Irons and Waffles and
Right.
Austin Idol's Wrestling School. Like it was a part of the show, which made it more entertaining.
The psychic was always my favorite. The bald-headed psychic woman. She was always my favorite.
It's the best, and that's the thing that makes NWA stand apart. And like you said, I mean, you look into it, and there's the names, and then you've got the people that you might have heard on if you came and they went to like the local army or whatever. Like going back to it, your opponent this Sunday, Colby Carino. We've seen him wrestle numerous times in Nashville, on like these little independent shows.
Right.
And that's the thing with NWA is they're finding and cultivating that talent. Cause like you could sit here and say, well, Thunder Rosa, where'd she come from? NWA.
Right. Right.
And you look at another one of the female roster, Camille, who's an absolute stud. Like she scares the piss out of me. And we had her in studio and she intimidates me just standing there.
Wow.
And I was like, hi, Camille, my name's Battle. Thanks for being here. And that's the thing is they're getting that homegrown talent and they're cultivating the next superstar.
It's the art of inclusiveness. It's the art of inclusion. And we saw that with Polo Del Mar. Shout out to Polo. I know you're gonna watch this. You know, Polo Del Mar, you know, and some other indie mainstays that they went out, Mickey James, that they all brought in. You know, we worked with Impact at times. We got Kylie Ray and I mean, so it's just great. And I'm with you 100% on that. It's the art of inclusion, and Billy Corgan and Pat Kenny, they've done a wonderful job of finding and bringing in young talent that may be known from the indie scene, but haven't had the platform to be seen worldwide.
Right, for sure. And it's very rare, and you've worked with quite a few people. It's very rare to have your boss that is like an absolute wrestling fan. Because we've had Billy on the show twice, and like just his passion and love for wrestling is the best. And then you've got some people that could be a little out of touch with wrestling, but Billy's like, no, this is it. I mean, like going to get the Burke out of like bringing that back. I mean, that goes to show how much Billy cares about the NWA and the history of it.
And the one thing I like about, again, you talk about real wrestling fans and you talk about Billy. Listen, as long as they do, listen, see this right here? Read that. This is Dusty to me. Read this. Now, I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to say what you want to say the way you want to say it, and you let me deal with Stephanie and Vince McMahon. And same with Billy Corgan. You know, as long as they put that mic in front of Pope, send me to the podium, you know, and you just let Pope do Pope. And I love that. And Billy trusts Pope. And that's the way it's always been. Even going back to Vince Russo as well, who people may not understand, but he understood Pope. And I love that podium aspect of NWA, where Billy let the guys go out there and be themselves.
Yes.
Don't nobody know how to get an individual over better than themselves. No one can speak or write for them. Let them effectively convey. That's old school, Daddy.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those like, okay, here's where we kind of, you know, you start out, this is the finish. Whatever you do, go. As long as you get to the finish, have fun.
That's it.
And don't say anything that we have to cut and edit and you get in trouble for. So now I kind of want to go back, and I see the internet and the Twitter and all the internet wrestling community. And I'm not sure if this is true or not. So I want to go straight to the source. But when you began training at OVW, were you offered a spot on the Spirit Squad?
Of course.
What was that talk like?
Well, this is my idea, and we're gonna make a lot of money. This is no one's idea. That's basically what it was. Vince McMahon brought me, Ken Doane, Mitch Mitchell, and Dolph Ziggler, which was Nick Nemeth at the time. Mm-hmm. He brought all four of us up. It wasn't going to be 5 people. It was just 4. And he said, you know, look, this is my idea. I wanted to know what brings heat. And so he was on this jet, and he said he thought everybody hates male cheerleaders. Who doesn't like male cheerleaders out there doing this and that? And so he was like, we're gonna make a lot of money. And he was very adamant, he being Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Pronouns, pal. Vince goes, this is my idea. No writer came up with this. No one advised me. I came up with this, so I'm telling you, we're going to make a lot of money. And he said, it's up to you guys. And, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. And so I heard what he said. Of course, he don't want you to do it if you're not going to be able to effectively do it and
Right.
do it right. And if you're uncomfortable. So that was basically it. I took a moment after he got done talking. I always remember Ken Doan, he's younger than me. So he was like, yes, let's do this.
Let's go.
I'm out of here. I don't want to I'm done with OVW. Let's go. So, it was a lot of excitement, but there was a lot of, worry from my end because I wasn't thinking right now and right then. I was thinking long term. I was thinking longevity. I was thinking, is this what I, left the law enforcement industry for and come here? And is this what I want my career to be, and how much of an effect it was going to have? So long story short, I went back in. I called Johnny Ace, and I said, Johnny, can I talk to you for a second? And he came over. Hey, yeah. Well, what's going on, kid? I said, I want to go talk to Vince. I don't think this is for me. You sure? You're gonna make a lot of money. I said, yeah, and I'm appreciative, but it's just not for me. So, all right, Vince is going to respect that. Come on in this. And so we went back in Vince's office. I told Vince, and Vince said, respect that. I'll send you back down. We'll bring you back up later. And that was it. I shook Vince's hand, and he said, we'll send you back to OVW. I got heat from a lot of other boys. I was talking about behind my back.
And then you probably knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, one thing I didn't expect, and this is a little tidbit that I just recently shared, but I shared here. I shared on Francine's podcast. When we all OVW developmental guys, when they have to go to the shows, when it's, around Louisville, whether it's Cincinnati, Indianapolis, we got to make the road trip, and I'm
right
there. And all the guys, the young guys, we line up to pay respect. You got to go shake the hands of the Undertakers or at the time.
You got to go pay your dues.
Pay your dues. So everybody was shaking hand to one of the guys. All right?
Yeah.
And one of those guys, when my turn came to shake their hand, turned his head. And I went, and then turned this way. And I'm like, okay.
Cool.
And he was like, you said no. And you're still here. And the rest, you'll have to read about in Pope's book when I write it. But that
can't wait for that book, because I'm ready for that book. Because I was sitting here, I was like, are we about to get like exclusive content? Nope. Get the books, the Pope's book when it comes out to Amazon, hardback copy, $29.95.
There you go.
$60 if you want the autograph copy of it.
I love it now.
Now you talk about being in law enforcement, and I want to go back to that. Do you have like a crazy law enforcement of arresting a drunk person? Like, what's the craziest moment that stands out when you think back to your law enforcement career?
Besides being in intake and booking someone into the jail, good crazy this is. The intake was backed up. And so I got on the computer that we used to enter the guy's information, and the OVW, first ever OVW tryout camp banner came across the screen.
Oh no.
That's what got me here. That started the process.
Right.
That's good, crazy. And so I clicked on it and I'm like, what? And I took 2 weeks off. I took a 2-week, off, and I went to Louisville, and that's how it all started. That banner popped up on the screen. I don't know how, but as you have effectively conveyed here, it was in the universe. It's something I've always said I wanted to do. Always, it was there. So anyways, the crazy is when I was working in the jail, and I get off the elevator with my food off my break, and I'm finna go back to the pod. And as soon as I get off the staff elevator, the inmate elevator opened up as well. And some guy stepped off the elevator. He looked and he went, you. And he started coming at me. and he started coming, and I had to drop him.
Did you get to watch the security footage of that, like on replay or something when it happened, or you just?
Well,
I mean, I don't know what I would do if he just. I mean, I'd be like deer in the headlights and be like, "Is this real? Is this happening?"
And it was like that. It happened so fast, but yet it was in slow motion, if it makes sense. And there was an officer right there in the pod that could have opened the door to come out to assist me, but he didn't. And guess who ended up being the bad guy?
You were.
He was a mental patient, but I had no time.
You didn't know?
It don't matter if he's mental or not. I was in physical harm.
Exactly.
I was in jeopardy. So I had to do what I had to do. I had to hit him, and then I took him down and placed handcuffs by myself, food spilled and everything. Man. Before, assistance is called by the guy that was in the office. That's why I always tell these, and you're just going to have to stick with me for a second. Here's the issue when it comes to this wrestling stuff. Everybody and they daddy want to get in the ring and be a professional wrestler, but the issue is when they get in there, they've never been in a fight in their natural life. So they don't know how to effectively make things look like it should. And this is what's wrong with the world of professional wrestling today. You can see someone get in there and jump and do a double doozy dozy off the top rope into a Hurricane Rana spike pile driver, into a Canadian destroyer. They can do all of that.
Yeah.
But they can't effectively portray being upset and in a fight. You look at the punches, they suck. You look at the forearms, they suck. It's because they've never been in a real fight in their life.
And and here's the thing, it's like I was a part of a match here in Nashville for a TV taping.
Worked up over here. God.
Hey, that's what we do on this show. And you're ready for Sunday, by the way. So it's kind of the precursor to Sunday, getting you pumped up. Again, Kobe. By the way, try and shoot NWAs by any means necessary at Oak Grove, Valor Hall. Tickets still available at NWATix.com. But here's the thing is like, I know wrestlers, it's a whole different thing. And as my dogs are barking in the background, because I'm getting worked up as well, because we're all getting worked up on this show. I know how much hard work goes into that, because I was a part of a show and I was just a special guest manager, and like never, full disclosure, never been in a wrestling ring, got in there, didn't realize how bouncy, like how movement it was, just walking and then like jumping up on the apron and everything. And like, got to be careful not to get your foot caught between the apron and the ring. And you got to overthink things. And it was like a quick 5-minute match, but it was like, where am I supposed to be? Like, I know you said do it on this part, but I'm supposed to be on this side of the ring. Like, it's a whole thing that some people don't understand. They just get out there and be like, oh, they suck at wrestling. They're 3 minutes. But but most people don't understand that 3-minute match at least took a 25 to 30-minute walkthrough.
Yeah.
And that's what people were like, oh, I could do that. No, you can't.
No. At least for those who do walkthroughs, and God knows I've never had a 25-minute walkthrough. I wouldn't say that. But I certainly understand what you're saying. It goes back to even, you got to learn how to effectively run in the ring, like you were saying. You can blow out your patella, your knee. Anything, man. You twist your ankle. It's just that you got to put the time in. And as much so that when I came to OVW, I spent countless nights after practice throwing a punch at a light bulb that was on my vanity in my bathroom, because I'm a boxer. I was boxing. So I wanted to learn how to throw a punch. So at first I threw forearms, good looking forearms, but I knew I was going to have to punch, and I needed to punch because they were going to talk about my boxing background. Right? Mm-hmm. So I can't come in there and not punch. So I had to learn how to punch in a way that I'm not knocking someone's teeth out or hitting them. They're going, oh, loosen up, you're stiff. And I've had that happen before, So, yeah. So you got to put the time in.
Yeah, for sure. Just like anything else. And, you look at Pope's career and it's like law enforcement, wrestler, boxer. And Probably not many people know this, but you were originally casted to be in Django Unchained, the movie, correct?
Oh man, I hate to even talk about that. Uh, you told me you wouldn't ask me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that right there is so touching because I have Django Unchained in my Blu-ray collection.
Mhm.
I've never seen it.
Really?
I was on
It just
set.
sit there.
I was on set for 3 months. TNA knew I was there, had nothing going on, and then they wanted to bring me back for the BFG series Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And during the time of being there, you don't start with the main scenes. You build in,
Mhm.
just like you would do with the house. You lay the foundation, then you build the house, and then you build everything else in. Well,
Right.
same way with the movie. You start the foundation, which is the movie script. You build everything, shoot everything from the outside, and then you fine tune and add everything in. So I was there, and we're shooting, and I'm on set, and I'm out there in the doggone what I like to call the hog pen, but it's the Mandingo pen.
Oh,
But I was out there in that pen.
that
That,
gotcha.
huh?
I think I know what you're talking about. That scene. Yeah.
We're out there, retakes, not for
Oof.
per se us, but because of the, Jamie Foxx coming up on the horse, to come to that doggone mansion. And then, it's hot and sweating and my hair's a mess. I had to grow facial hair.
Oh.
And when I'm chilling with Jamie Foxx. I'm literally laughing, sitting next to Quentin Tarantino, who selected me, who wanted me,
Yeah.
right? In as much, I slapped Quentin Tarantino on his 3 times his normal size behind, when he made a funny, so it was good. It was good, Karen Washington, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
But my point is this: Leo got sick, and when Leo got sick, they're not going to start shooting until he's ready.
Yeah.
Whether that's 2 days or he say I need another day, whatever. It was raining, that halted production when it rains, of course, and then you got to let the land dry because we are shooting on old plantation grounds.
Mhm.
And then Leo got sick, and now, okay, Leo's ready. Now we need this from you, Elijah. We need this now,
Yeah.
And that's when TNA called, hey, can you come? I'm like, hey, no, they need me. This is my part. We'll fly you down and fly you right back up. And I'm like, listen, if they shoot tomorrow and Leo say he's good, I'm going to miss out. And I've been here all this time. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we'll just get you down. And this is when they were shooting on Thursday. So I flew. Long story short, I'm in makeup, and the seamstress. I'm seeing the seamstress, and I get the call. Hey, yeah, we got to use your stand-in. We got to replace you. Blah blah blah. And Miss Carter gets the phone. Hey, this is Dixie Carter with Spike TV, and we can do wonders promoting the movie, and everybody just goes.
Everybody was trying. Oh.
Everybody's like, hey, like what the hell can TNA do for Quentin Tarantino? Like,
right.
So it was crazy. The part when they're fighting inside the house, the 2 Mandingos, that's me. The part where Leonardo DiCaprio dies and his prize Mandingo is carrying him on the shoulder, that's me. Again, I only know what the script was for me. I've never seen it.
Man.
But so that's how I know. I've never seen any part of that movie. And me and my one of the Post's former future baby mamas was just talking about this 2 days ago. And she was like, maybe you should watch that movie. I've seen it. I'm like, I'm sure a day will come when I want to, but it'll probably. But for those of you who are watching and listening, know that it was my choice. I chose to go back and take that chance, because while everybody was doing that complaining about, TNA's not paying people, stars are complaining about their money, my check, I wasn't even wrestling. My check was coming on time, all the time, even while I was away filming. So I had to go to where my bread was buttered at.
Yeah.
And so, I took that chance.
And that's a completely understandable reason, because like you said, I mean, you got to go where your bread and butter is. So, I mean, and that's kind of leading into my next question now with that. Is that something you like to pursue eventually on a full-time basis, maybe down the road once you've kind of hung the boots up? Like, do you want to go into acting some more, or?
Yeah, I want to go where I'm wanted and where the opportunity presents itself. You know, I've been on. Speaking of by any means necessary, I've been on Necessary Roughness on the USA Network.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in Tyler Perry Productions for one of his shows. I can't remember what it's called. You know, I've had several bits of acting and you know, nothing major. Django Unchained was going to be a red carpet, and the PA was telling me this is going to be a big movie.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be big, and to have my name in the credits, and for me to go there, you know, and it's like, gosh, I wonder what would have happened, you know.
Exactly right.
And then I get back to when I go do the Batman thing where they select me for the Dark Knight Rises, and we want you. You're going to be on the front line during our fight scene because we know your background and you're a wrestler
Mm-hmm.
and you're a former boxer. And then they put the darn stuntmans in front of me, and you know. But
And then you
and the
don't.
only time you see me is during that clash. But you got to know it's me. And then I get back to Impact Wrestling and Mike Tenay and Taz, they're on commentary. Yeah, Pope has returned from shooting Dark Knight Rises. And it was like, oh my gosh.
And you know, and I feel as if like you said, I mean, everything happens for a reason. It's out there in the universe, and I mean, you're doing good things in NWA, and of course, we've already put it out in the universe that that 10 pounds of gold is gonna look really nice back there with that next to that Michael Jackson Thriller album you got there behind you. So it's gonna look, it'd be a nice little mantelpiece to hang up in the room back there. So again, this Sunday it is going down, tried and true in NWA's By Any Means Necessary live at Valor Hall in Oak Grove, Kentucky. Tickets still available at NWATix.com. Now, your match has been announced. We kind of touched about Colby Carino, and you're facing Colby this Sunday. Like, do you have any mindset of going in, or do you just kind of think of this as like, I know Colby, it's not going to be that big of a match. I'm just going to go in, get the pin, and get out?
No, I'm not. You never underestimate an opponent. You never underestimate. Kobe has been putting his time in inside the ring, and I'm sure he's preparing to be in the ring with Pope. Uh, this is a matchup for him that I know he's looking at as a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Win or lose, he's looking at it as a big deal. How's he's going to come out of this match looking? You know, how's the perception going to be? And that's what I do every time I step in the ring, even when I'm doing the independent shows. So my thing is to simply show up and just be Pope.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you got to do. And of course, again, it's going down this Sunday, tried and true NWA's By Any Means Necessary at Valor Hall, Oak Grove, Kentucky. Still got some tickets, by the way, NWATix.com. And we're actually going to be at the show. We bought our tickets. That's how much we want to show support to the crew. I mean, we could have easily hit up Crimson or Jax or any of them and been like, hey, can we get tickets? But no. We want to support the guys. We bought our tickets. You got to get your tickets as well, NWATix.com. And real quick before we let you go, where's the best place to follow you, and what do you want to say to everybody?
Well, I'll hit the follow in a second. I just want to say this, much like with you guys buying the ticket, I just first want to say thank you. We appreciate your support. It reminds me of some of my folk who come down to my charity events, which I'm coming up on my 10th annual Love Drive for the Love Alive charity. And guys, you can head over to love-alive.org to learn about Pope's charity, love-alive.org/donate to contribute to the charity. I'm a publicly funded charity. I don't get grants from the government is not supplying, but we've been serving the community of Jacksonville. Come January the 8th, this will be our 10th year. We feed, we clothe, and we feed directly. Go to Pope TV on YouTube. Here's another. Go pull up the video. We feed hundreds. I'm talking 3, 4, wrapped around the block, lined up for hours just to get a hot meal. And the hot meal, not a soup truck, not peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, not out of a brown paper bag. We feed them directly out of Burger King. That's how we do it. And
That's awesome.
yeah, man, and it comes. Our homeless community here is horrible, and it's bad. And a lot of people, politicians, people that are in important positions, they do things based off of um, perception. What can come from it for them?
Yeah.
You know, I've been born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Only time people do stuff is when there's natural or disasters and stuff of that magnitude. So, anyways, not to go too much into it, we will commence on January the 8th. We always end our annual event with a huge wrestling event, which is going to be called Duval Brawl 4. And guys, again, you can head to love-alive.org to look into that. And we've had Tyrus there. We've had Rebel, Flying Brian Jr. has been our heavyweight champion. And the list goes on. So we get people from all walks of life that are going to be there. Ashton Starr, the Russell Twins, Black Magic out of Baltimore.
Oh, man.
These people come down. They join Pope in feeding and clothing the homeless. And then 2 hours later, we're at the building getting ready to do the show.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So, again, guys, you can follow your boy at The Black Pope on Twitter, at The Black Pope on Instagram, Facebook.com/Elijah Burke, and, of course, Pope TV Pope TV on YouTube. And please visit love-alive.org. Click the donate button, drop $1. $1 help makes the difference to help your boy and all of us continue to be the change that we wish to see in the world.
Definitely, for sure. And of course, we'll also drop a link down here below, and we'll make sure everybody can click on that. You can get directed straight to there from the YouTube channel and also on the podcast. We'll make sure we include it in the tweets and all that social media. But Pope, looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. We'll come say hi, and I believe Eli's going to come bringing all of his belts because he's like on this hunt to get. He's got the television title and he's got the 10 pounds of gold, and he's like, I am determined to get the champion signed on these belts. So we'll definitely have to swing by and say hi. And Pope, looking forward to Sunday. And again, thank you so much for taking the time out and hanging out with us today.
I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.